Harvest Company.
Hey guys, this is Allie Greenstone from Mary's Medicinals. I'm here with Chad Drew. This is PotTalk on World Viral TV.
Right on. Hey yo.
PotTalk.
Awesome.
PotTalk.
What?
All right, Music Survivor back here. It is PotTalk. Chad Drew, what's going on?
Dude, I got Russell Thomas, the CTO for Duby. If you don't know Doobie, I'll pull it up on my phone here because I have it pulled up. But Russell, welcome. Excited to have you around, man. So Doobie.
Yeah, Doobie. That looks beautiful on your phone.
Give us an elevator pitch on Doobie real quick.
Doobie is the first gamified social network, and specifically for cannabis, but it's also anonymous. So it was designed to not only gamify the social experience so you don't get necessarily bored, you're always competing, essentially, to have the best content and quality. That also lends to the best content that doesn't have to be monitored mostly.
Right.
Because people are kind of voting things up and down and maintaining the quality of that content because you're essentially rewarded to do so. Right. At the same time, it relies on location but doesn't require it of anybody. We only need an email address so you can reset your password. Other than that, it's completely anonymous.
Right.
You can still make friends, this and that, but that's good for while we're growing. There's some places legal, some places not.
Right.
And here in Denver, we forget that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And occasionally, I think it's kind of fun because it's. I mean, if anything, I know it has like locations for some of the folks all around the world. Way cool. And you can see who's here in the 303 and who's not even in the US. And it's fun because there's a lot of really cool pictures that come through. Everybody's doing it, but a lot of the other social media for marijuana is still very out. Putting yourself out there, like your grandma could run into it at any second.
What struck me the most at first about Doobie is, and this was before I'd really looked in too much into it, but it struck me as kind of like a Tinder meets Instagram for weed. So you're swiping whether you like something or not.
Have you ever been
but
called
there's
that?
really good photos. There's really good photos. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we get called that a lot. And originally, we were mixed up with dating apps. We came out the same time as Hi There, which was a very interesting app, right? And other cannabis dating apps. And because of the Tinder-like interface, of course, they categorize us like that.
I totally remember when you guys came out, and you were totally labeled that way.
Right.
It actually, I was like, why would you need to do that, Tinder? You know what I mean, sort of thing. And so I kind of didn't pay attention to it for a little bit, but then some of the guys that I work with within the industry are like, hey, you really need to check out this Doobie thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it is, and because it relies on that simplicity, right? And the algorithm behind it is relying on those decisions you make. Those small, very small decisions add up to a lot when you look at it as a whole, and when you look at the behavior of a particular user or those users from a meta standpoint, right?
Right.
So when you take that and you have the self-regulation built in and all that, what you end up with is a very refined experience where you're getting this wonderful quality content where you're seeing people and how they're smoking around the world and not a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I love that. It creates a wonderful culture.
Yeah. We've had some of the other social media apps out there. We've had them on the show before, and it's interesting to get your take in regards to being. I mean, I'm around a lot of new cannabis companies anyway, and I talk a lot about how there's within the cannabis industry. Every industry that didn't have anything to do with cannabis is trying to tap into it. So what is it like to have the crossover within not only the social media part of it, but also trying to represent properly within the cannabis industry?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, to me, this is everything we dreamed of. But with freedom of speech, right? And we don't touch the plant. We don't have to touch the plant. But this is about getting the information out about how people are using it and why. And it's really kind of minimizing it to the degree that it should.
Right.
That this is not a big deal. This everybody does, and this is the way they do it. And dabs are not like crack. It's not even close. Like, give me a break, right? Chill out, people, and take a look at what people are doing around the world.
Yeah.
That helps to normalize it. Helps to connect people too. So there's the social aspect.
Right.
But I just love that we have a way to communicate and freely, and it's not in your face. It's just an example. Hey, here's what I'm on a beach. I'm smoking a Doobie. This is sweet.
Right.
It's great.
It's interesting to be able to have something like this for a platform for the smokers and the cannabis enthusiasts within not only the nation but also the world. I talk often on the show in regards to how it's kind of a norm here in Denver and how it's already integrated itself within our culture, that we're far past the taboo stages that some of the other states within the nation are still experiencing. Talk a little bit about that.
I was kind of amazed how fast our culture switched. It became what I call the soccer mom smokers.
Yeah.
culture, right? So in my neighborhood, all the soccer moms, they've got their open vape pens, and they're pulling little hits secretly on the side while they're walking their dog and their kids, and you see it now at weddings even, right? In Colorado, right? We're not drinking. They're like, hey, pass the doobie around. And we're like, hey, where's the one? Oh, no wine? Okay, fine. And it's okay.
Yep.
And what I noticed, I worked in corporate when the switch really happened, the cultural switch. And it was like Susie, the administrative assistant to the executive, this old lady, and like now she's going, hey guys, want to smoke?
Yeah.
I'm like, what, Susie? Jesus! Like, but then you turn and go, oh, that's great. That's when you knew that's what it's going to be like, and this is going to be okay.
Right.
And that was beautiful.
Have you guys had any issues with people posting, so you're smoking a joint on a beach somewhere where it's illegal with a location on that? Has there been any issues with that?
Not at all. Now, it's a rough location, and it's randomized on purpose.
Right.
So the location is so that you can kind of see what's going on and where, but purposely I designed this algorithm so you're not going to get caught. I mean, hands down, we've never been contacted by anybody, but at some point,
good question.
We got a subpoena, I'll be like, hey, good for you. Good luck. Have fun with that, because there ain't shit there.
Right.
And that was the intent. You will not find that with any other network.
So in the same line of questioning, since it is so similar to Tinder, have you guys had Cannabis Wedding happen because of Doobie that you know of?
No, but I was just looking through it today, and there was a Doobie of these two girls, and they just posted on the description, my new Doobie friend. Like, they found each other and got together, and they made friends. And we see that a lot, but not usually like, hey, in the shot. I love that, because I'm like, we changed something. We changed people's lives.
Yeah.
And
That's
someday,
awesome.
maybe there'll be a Doobie wedding. That'll be badass.
It's true. I've had a lot of buds from one of your competitors before, and I've had some of them reach out to me and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm relatively new to Doobie. I've only been doing it for maybe 3-4 months, I would say at the most.
Good.
A lot of the people have been doing it for a lot longer, and I was totally going somewhere. No.
Well, I've seen a lot of photos that Chad has where you have like thousands of thumbs up on it.
Yeah. It is a huge community. Oh, yeah, but that's what I was saying. So, yeah, I actually got reached out by some of my Doobie friends already.
Nice.
And, like, trying to do business and trying to, and not the shady kind of business.
No, it's a very positive culture.
Yeah.
Like, literally everybody every day, they're reporting things like, hey, get rid of this guy. He's trying to sell to me, or this and that. And we don't tolerate that shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's more about how the communities help protecting itself. They don't want to see this go away. They like Doobie.
Right.
They don't want it to turn into shit.
Right.
And so the algorithm protects itself almost enough, but then the users come in and it's stayed wonderfully clean for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so talk a little bit about forming the brand and the company and where the idea came from.
Yeah, because I'm totally jazzed about that, dude. I used to have a ferret back in the day named Duby. So every time that the word Doobie comes up in the cannabis industry, there's a little sucker in the heart for it.
Chad used to have a ferret.
I used to have a ferret,
Yeah,
too.
I did. I totally did.
Careful where you walk around saying that, bro.
See, I was more of a guinea pig guy myself.
Yeah, were you?
You're kidding. I had ferrets. As a matter of fact, my ferret food is where my mom found 50 hits of acid once in high school. Thankfully, they were covered in plastic. That would have explained my ferret's death, but it wasn't that simple. But that's how I remember my ferret. Yeah, that was nice.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
Different story.
So,
Yeah.
The beginning of the company.
So the brand. Well, it's funny enough. I knew I wanted to get into cannabis, and that's largely because of my son, who 4 years ago, he's now 4 years old, but we found out that he has Fragile X syndrome, which is a form of mental retardation and leading cause of autism. But long story short, nobody had ever really tried cannabis yet on Fragile X kids, and he was young. So I was the first one to try it, and the results were spectacular.
Really?
Right? He couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, and he couldn't even eat anything solid, right? 3 days later, he's eating solid foods, and he's moving around, and now he's walking, he's talking, and he's doing quite well.
What exactly did you use to treat him? Like how did that go?
At that time, it's changed so fast. Now I can go down the store. But at that time, just 3-4 years back, I had to get basically hemp from China and CBD out of that and just black tar and then combine that with MCT oil, really break it down into something he could take, you know, at least be administered. Right. And so I found this formula and basically kind of invented it, but it worked. And then later on, I get to know all the producers around here, and that's what I wanted to get in the industry. I'm like, I need good medicine for my kid.
Right.
And it's just not that it's available and it's legal. You have to know what you're looking for, where you can get it, who made it, and the quality. It's very important, especially for a young child. I don't want any bullshit.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
So I quit a 20-year career. I was basically a paid hacker for 20 years and paid well. And I said, no.
Wow.
No, I want to be in this industry. I truly do, for the sake of my kid. And so I actually got in with my current CEO, Alec, And we started with Potcoin, which is a cryptocurrency in cannabis.
I've heard that.
And now, we didn't own it, but we came into it 4 months after it was founded. And then somewhere along the line, we came up with Doobie, just smoking in my garage. And I remember I go, Doobie. Wait, does the domain exist? Right? That's great. It's 4 letters. It's perfect. I have the logo in my head and everything. And it just came to me, and it all started there that one day. And even the logo I wrote down, I always tell the story how I designed the logo that day, that minute. But then we still fielded it out. We had 300 plus designs made of the logo before we started this company, yet we still picked that very first one. And multiple people did. They voted on it, right?
Yeah.
And so it was that strong.
And it's this logo on your shirt here.
The logo on my shirt. Yeah. It was that strong. And we said, that's beautiful.
Right.
But we didn't know exactly what we were going to build yet. Mm-hmm. We just looked at the market. We said, oh, who's out there and what are they doing?
I mean, it's a great domain name, man. It's a great domain.
Easy.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we got the .co. A guy had the .com, but he still does. He's just like an old lawyer out of Florida. So as long as it's not a business doing anything else, fine. So we got the .co. And one day, we keep asking nicely, can we have the .com, please?
Some response from the Duby family, basically. Just threw up a couple of posts like, hey, these guys are coming on. If you could ask anything, what would you ask? I got a couple of different responses.
Nice.
The first question I do have to know, because I knew this a little bit early on, and I don't know how much of the Doobie family knows him. What's up with Johnny5? Is he part of your stop? Is he part of your crew?
Yeah, he's my neighbor, actually.
Okay.
And so he started the whole thing kind of with us just almost by chance. Like, he doesn't develop software or anything like I do, right?
Right.
But he's always been my neighbor. He's always smoked weed with me. And I'm like, hey, would you help out with the community side, in the app? And he's been just absolutely brilliant in there ever since.
I've heard I've heard that a lot of the folks on Doobie think that he's like a Bruce Wayne assistant that has like the whole wall of screens and is just like passing or not passing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
no, that's me. I'm the geek with all the screens and the walls, and I'm behind the scenes, and I'm just like pulling strings and yeah.
So, oh shit, that's the wrong card. Okay, so here it is. All right. So, I needed to find out. This one's a hard one for me to ask, so I should probably get into something else first. But let's just go with it. At Ash Vaughn wants to know if you've ever gotten high through your butt.
I have a story about this.
I'm sure you do. Think about that when I'm like, maybe. Jesus, that was a rough night. But no, I don't think so. No.
For you.
That might have happened for somebody. But my story wasn't about me. It was about this kid I knew when I was 18. We used to party at his apartment all the time. And this kid had done so much X in his life that he no longer got high enough just by taking it normally, so he would rectally insert it. And he would do this and he would just talk to you about it. Like, I just did this like an hour ago and I'm starting to get fucked up now.
That's awesome.
All the time, dude. And the guy got it's kind of a sad story, really.
Rectal ecstasy.
Done so much drugs that he was like 18, could barely hold a conversation.
That sucks.
It is what it is. But anyway, yes. So
he's just sitting there like, no. I would say for you. I think for you is a little easier. So
yeah,
they have suppositories.
It's also cannabis, not ecstasy.
Yeah.
Wait, do they really have suppositories now?
They totally do. Yep.
Sporia does.
Interesting.
Sporia has suppository. Yeah, and it's for like core pain, and there's also a pleasure one. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So you can actually physically these days get high in your ass.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? All right.
Products on the market. I think Tommy Chong saved his life that way, actually.
I think he did.
You learn something every day, I guess.
So do you guys ever do sessions? Can the Doobie family ever come and have a sesh with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can come have a session with any time. I mean, I roll the fattest freaking doobies. I mean, you want to come over to my house? Like, yeah, it's lovely.
So is the Doobie team always stoned, or are they ever not stoned? Because according to the pictures, it seems like...
It depends who you are. I code stoned. I like it. It gives you the hyper focus that I need.
It does, right?
I think Johnny's high all the time, but that's Johnny.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, Alex pretty darn sober. It depends who you are, who you hire. Funny enough, most of our developers don't.
Huh.
Oddly enough,
I
don't mind if they do.
I
always say, "Hey, you can come to work. I don't care if you're high on heroin, but you better kick ass."
Right.
That's all that matters.
It's a good boss.
There you go. Right. What about what are you smoking now, and what is most common at the office? What strain?
For me, vapes and vape pens with basically like some nice bubble hash or even shatter just for the convenience of it, right?
Yeah.
But I roll just huge cone doobies.
Yeah.
and of course I love to pass the doobie.
Yep.
So that's my favorite.
That's my
and I you know what? In the past year or two, though, it's because it's become so common. I don't smoke bongs anymore. I don't smoke pipes anymore. Rarely. I have to think about it. Right now, I got sick recently. You know what I pulled out? My classic European electric vaporizer that makes the cleanest fucking life you've ever had. Right? You don't even realize you have smoke and your lungs are so clean. But, but for that moment, that worked great. Right? But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, awesome. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, that was some of the questions, dude. What do you think?
All right.
Yeah?
I like it.
They wanted to know what you're smoking.
Let's take a quick break, and we're gonna come back and do some top 5.
We got to do top 5. You want to stick around and play?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. This is Music Buzz Live. We'll be right back.